Good morning, guys. Today's discussion is going to be over Chapter 4 of Animal Farm. So this actually starts on page 54. So if you could get your books open to that page, that would be great. Last time we left off, we were talking about the manipulation of the animals on the farm. And this was, the pigs doing this sort of thing. Today, we're kind of shifting gears and talking about the humans. So while all this is occurring on Animal Farm, we've got farmers like Pilkington and Frederick hearing about the rebellion, and they're actually frightened of it. And their main goal is to prevent their own animals on their own farms from learning too much about it, because if they did, then they might decide that that's what should happen for them as well, and they will rebel. So anyway, another passage I want to read to you, it says, when time passed and animals had evidently not starved to death, Frederick and Pilkington changed their tune and began to talk of the terrible wickedness that now flourished on Animal Farm. So they're frightened by the rebellion, trying to prevent their animals from knowing about it, and then when they realize that the system is working, then they lie. Okay. How does this translate to the actual events of history? Well, when the Russian Revolution occurred and the USSR was established, neighboring countries had heard about this, and they feared that it would spark rebellion in their own countries. So what they did as a way to prevent this from happening was restrict civilian knowledge, and when that didn't work, they spread lies, just like Frederick and Pilkington are doing here. Trotsky was a person I wanted to connect back to. Trotsky had pretty big dreams, and, he didn't want communism to be something that was just occurring in Russia. In fact, he wanted it to be an international government. So what he was trying to do was spread these ideas however he could. And like Trotsky, we have the pigs doing the same thing in this chapter. They're having flights of pigeons, let me read this to you, whose instructions were to mingle with the animals on neighboring farms, tell them the story of the rebellion, teach them the tune of Beasts of England. So this was actually happening in history as well. So anyway, that's what's going on there at the beginning of chapter 4. I also want to talk a little bit more about the Battle of the Cowshed. That's a big thing here. So what happened was Mr. Jones and his men tried to take back the farm, but they were unsuccessful in doing so. The animals ended up winning. Okay, I wanted to discuss the roles of animals in this battle, specifically Snowball and Napoleon. Snowball had a very prominent role in this battle. In fact, he was the one who strategized and planned the attacks. He was also directly involved in the attack and even suffered injuries from it. I think he took a light bullet as he was charging one of the humans. So he was active, but Napoleon was nowhere to be seen. This shows that he's not really a very hands-on leader. He's not willing to get his hands dirty to accomplish things. There are definitely differences in leadership style between the two pigs. Boxer was another one I wanted to talk about. Look at his reaction when he believes he's killed a human. What does this say about his nature? He gets extremely upset. He says that's not what he intended. So it kind of shows that he has this kind, gentle nature. He has a conscience. Whereas, the rest of them were saying, you shouldn't worry about that. But he does. Okay, so he's not bad. All right. There are other things that I need to discuss with you about Chapter 4. And this was just, the aftermath of the battle, the prizes that were awarded. Notice that Snowball was awarded Animal Hero First Class. He did take a bullet. He did strategize. So I do believe that he deserved some sort of distinction, or recognition for his role. But notice that the Dead Sheep was awarded Animal Hero Second Class. So they weren't even on the same level, but the sheep sacrificed its life for the cause. So, I also wanted to point out to you that these prizes, especially the one with Snowball, was self-appointed. And they go against the principles of communism or animalism. So kind of interesting there. We again see this subtle abuse of power, subtle changes to what they've originally established. It's just a little bit at a time. They chip away at it. Anyway, that should conclude the majority of Chapter 4. So if you have questions, just shoot me an email and I'll get back to you. See you later.